Yeah, I always get asked one question, what difficulty am I on? So what I'll do, I'll show you the assist. There you go. I'm running assist because then I can go really fast like this. But I'm playing Gran Turismo 7. I have to drive that fully manual, like how the hot bods drive this game, like like Emphatic and all them. I have to drive it the same way as them on GT7. Otherwise, the car's too slow. But with this, I'm gonna see how fast I can get to before I hit a brick wall where I have to go manual. So I'm just taking the easy option. I like it though, to be honest. Right, that's the assist. Difficulty is 100. You know what I mean? So that's that. Next time I race Yuki, it'll be 110. So when I do another season, it'll be a full whack. And I'm feeling that's when I will have to go on full manual, no assist. Hopefully, I can still do good. And yeah, damage. I want to race, man. I don't want to mess up the car and watch the other guys race. So that's how it is. All right, then. That's the tour. But I will be doing Gran Turismo 7 soon. I'm just trying to win the Aston Martin racing car. And I'm also going to finish off Mass Effect 2, hopefully this weekend. And then that'd be good. I think that'd be about 3 bits. That should be a good ending because I'm just going in no mercy. So that'd be proper jobs. All right, then. So that's what's coming. And then the Gran Turismo, I reckon give it another 2 weeks. And then I'll be able to do it properly. But for now, I've got to win the cars. You know what I mean? Man had to do his driving test yesterday to get his A license. Joke thing. Anyway, enjoy.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here in Canada at the wonderful Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Who's going to come out fastest of all in the next hour? Yes, it's time for qualifying.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
With conditions as they are, I'd suggest you take a set of full wets. Okay, recommend taking wet tyres in the current conditions. I'm afraid we've dropped to P22, P22. Okay, that's P21 for us, P21. The rain looks like it's going to be getting much lighter over the next 10 to 15 minutes. There should be more grip, but don't expect a dry track yet.
Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix. We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to the variant of this track back in 1978, and it was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Ocon, Liam Lawson and Tsunoda, Sainz, Stroll, Michael Schumacher and Lando Norris, Antonelli, Bortoletto, Nico Hulkenberg and Albon, Behrman, Doohan, Callie Mayer and Aiden Jackson, Russell, Gasly, Fernando Alonso and Franco Colapinto rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And alongside me in the commentary box today, former racing driver herself, Naomi Schiff. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. What a track this is. And what a challenge for the drivers this weekend. Long straights, heavy braking zones, and a very green surface to start with.
This happens to be one of the drivers' favorites. It is a low downforce circuit that is fast and flowing, but it is also demanding on the brakes. And be careful, because let's not forget the wall of champions that catches out so many.
Right then, the formation lap is underway here in Montreal, a circuit where the cars take a physical battering and the pit and paddock facilities are cramped. But the atmosphere, as always, is great and the race ahead has the potential to be a good one. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
Okay, DRS is now available. Got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Right, we need to get past here, use overtake. That's P5, you're in P5. The distance to the leader, 4.4 seconds. Ocon is ahead of you, less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. That's Sainz behind you now. They're on fresh mediums. Your pit window opens in 8 laps time, and that's 23 laps to go. Gap to your teammate behind, 6.1 seconds. Good work, we're in P4. Okay, so gap to the leader, 5.5 seconds. Leclerc is ahead of you, and gap to the car in front, 1.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Ocon behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Your pit window will be open in 7 laps time. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Fourth position, you're in 4th position. Our gap to first place, 6.3 seconds. Leclerc ahead. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 2.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Ocon's behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. And that's 6 laps until your pit window's open. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 1.9 seconds. work, we're in P4. Okay, gap to leader, 8.1 seconds. Piastri's ahead of you. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 1.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Ocon behind. They're on old mediums. You've got 4 laps until your pit window opens. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 1.6 seconds. You're in 4th position. The distance to the leader, 9.4 seconds. Okay, Piastri just ahead. Push hard, push hard. Okay, gap to the car in front, 2.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Ocon's behind you. They're on old mediums. We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. Okay, gap ahead, 2.2 seconds. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Okay, Yuki, Ocon behind. It is critical for our race that we keep them behind, please. Okay, unlucky, mate. That wasn't quite what we needed, but let's not worry about it. Get your head down and chin up. There's a long way to go. Okay, we can take you this lap. Right, let's go, come on! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Look after these tyres now and want to finish the race on this compound. caution, caution. Okay, clear. Okay, P15. You're in P15. Okay, Russell's ahead. And gap to the car in front, 2.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Colapinto behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. And that's 14 laps to go. The car ahead of you's just fitted the hard tyres. Car ahead, they're on the hard compound. Tyre condition still looking good. Remember to play around with ERS modes in your MFD if you need to. Starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 1.5 seconds. Okay, you've got P5, P5. Okay, so gap to the leader, 14.8 seconds. Okay, Michael's ahead of you. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 1.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, they're on fresh hards. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, Michael's coming in for his stop now. might see some rain. ETA about 15 minutes. Good work, we're in P4. Our gap to first place, 15.6 seconds. Piastri ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 3.6 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Norris is behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 19.8 seconds. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 5.3 seconds. Okay, Yuki, picking your moments to use ERS is important, so let's try and be as consistent as possible with it, please. Use overtake now, come on, push hard. Okay, gap to the car in front, 7.0 seconds. Fourth position, you're in fourth position. Okay, gap to leader, 19.7 seconds. Piastri's ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead, 7.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Ocon behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. And that's 8 laps to go. Norris behind. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 6 laps old. And the time last lap, 1 minute 13.0. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Yes mate, we hit the target, nice work. Gap to your teammate behind, 20.7 seconds. And gap to the car in front, 10.5 seconds. McLaren driver ahead. Time last lap, 1:12.4. Okay, Piastri just ahead. Push hard, push hard. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 10.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 9 laps old. Come on mate, we're dropping back by a second a lap. Norris is behind you. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 8 laps old, and the time last lap, 1 minute 13.0. Okay, expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 13.5 seconds. Okay, you're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Let's keep pushing. Good work, we're in P4. The distance to the leader, 28.5 seconds. Piastri ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 15.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Norris behind. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 16.8 seconds. Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Yeah, good job, mechanics.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
And it's one thing to win, but to win like that in total dominance style, that was a fantastic drive, and it is not one that we see very often.
It's time for our podium celebrations. And as ever in Formula One, 3 is the magic number. But there can only be one on the top step. Your number 1, Max Verstappen. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Welcome along to the Red Bull Ring. Breathe in that fresh alpine air. The hills are alive with the sound of F1. It's practice time here in Austria.
All right, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Cool.
We're going to be logging some extra data during this session. Nothing you need to worry about, but as we have some new parts on the car, we'll just confirm they're performing to spec.